Gervonta Davis disrespects people who work a 9 to 5. So Gervonta Davis was on the internet and he made a comment to someone, and we're going to take a look at it. So you see, boxing Twitter troll Ray Jackson has responded, and we're going to take a look at this entire thing. So it started with this guy, Leonidas Maximus the Fourth. Um, Wrote Gervonta Tank Davis at Gervonta Davis will turn 30 in about 2 weeks, and the MF has the resume of a child. To which Gervonta Davis responded, now let's talk about how you finished school and all that for you to work for someone, and now they dictate when you wake up and go to sleep. LOL. I'll pick my life over y'all life any day, loser. So that's what he wrote. And then Ray Jackson said, hold up, Tank. Your biggest fan work a 9 to 5 with the crying laughing emoji. So look, here's the thing, man. Some of these fighters, right, forget where they came from, forget where they come from, and they forget that it's the fans who pay their salary. So for starters, right, the fans are your boss, because if the fans don't pay to see you, then you're not going to make that type of money. You're not going to make this money to be your own boss like you claim. And secondly, you're not your own boss. You're not your own boss because you work for the people. Then the people determine whether you're hot or whether you're not. But you also work for the companies, and you also work for the people who aren't taking the punches. So this is what makes me laugh about the boxers. They do this talking, right? Tank is paying someone to promote him. People are cutting into his money, and people are getting paid off of Tank, and they're not in the ring taking the beating. He is. He is. So when you look at Eddie Hearn, Matchroom, all this stuff, these guys aren't getting punched in the face. And when your career is over, they're still going to be making money off of other people, and they never get hit. They don't have to worry about CTE. They don't have to worry about recovering after being beat down. So when you say like you'll take your life over everyone else's life, that's cool. Because right now, you feel good, you got some money, but athletes go broke all the time. Adrian Peterson is recently the running back from the Minnesota Vikings, made over $100 million in his career, and now he's bankrupt and broke. We talked about, excuse me, Adrien Broner saying he only had $13 to his name after he made millions. Antoine Walker, NBA player, made over $100 million in his career. He went to being broke. Mike Tyson, one of the highest grossing boxers in the history of the sport, he went broke, and then he started making money again, but he went broke. And you got to talk about it, because if he made the type of money he should have been making, perhaps he's not fighting Jake Paul on Netflix on November 15th. So you can't sit around and disrespect people who work a 9 to 5. And my other issue with this is it makes it's a misrepresentation, and it makes it seem like working a 9 to 5 is lame. There are plenty of people who work 9 to 5s that have way more money than Gervonta Davis. Jerry Jones, the owner of the Dallas Cowboys, multi-billionaire, worked a 9 to 5. A lot of people worked 9 to 5s, and there are people who work 9 to 5s. Like, I'm not going to speak on myself, but like, what I will say is I don't work a 9 to 5. I have my own hours, but I work traditional hours, and I'm employed. I have an employer. But when you're a lawyer, you kind of have free reign to, you handle cases when you handle them, you do what you want to do, but you still work a regular job. But there's so many things that, so many ways you get paid off your mind. There's so many things and assets that add value to your portfolio and how much money you have. To think that the average person who works a 9 to 5 isn't a millionaire is crazy. You people work 9 to 5s, have millions of dollars, and they don't get punched in the face. So for Gervonta Davis to sit there and make this statement, it's just very misguided, because where he's saying he'd rather be him, there are people who pay and watch him get punched up and watch those guys get knocked out, and they're saying, well, I'd rather be me. Right? So I'm not here to lecture Tink or whatever. This is the way he feels, it's the way he feels. But I just think it's very misguided, because the perception sounds like everyone who works a 9 to 5 is broke. No, there are people who work 9 to 5 and own multiple houses, multiple homes, rental properties, make a lot of money, and they don't have people telling them when they need to wake up, when they need to run. They don't have to put their body through physical. So you can look at it both ways, right? What I would say is, if you got a problem with this guy, take it up with this guy, but you don't have to disrespect most of your core fan base who probably work a 9 to 5. And then they take their hard-earned money to buy the Gervonta Tank Davis fight. They take their hard-earned money to buy tickets to the Gervonta Tank Davis fight, only for him to say something like this that's completely disrespectful to them. If you work a 9 to 5, there's nothing wrong with working a 9 to 5. If you work a 9 to 5, that means that you're employed. That means you're making money. That means you're supporting your family. That means you contribute to society. Most importantly, that means you understand the value of a dollar. So 20 years from now, when your salary goes up and you continue to make money and you continue to stack and understand the value of a dollar, some of these athletes like Adrian Peterson, like Adrien Broner, like Mike Tyson in his younger years, and hopefully he's figured it out, like Antoine Walker, who just think, oh, I'm always going to get money like this, and they throw it away when they're broke and they're in court saying they got $13 to their name. You who are working a 9 to 5, understanding the value of a dollar, will still have even more equity in your home, if not own your home, in multiple pieces of land, making crazy money, having assets and value, and have way more than $13 to your name. So I just think it's interesting, but this is also a poisonous mindset that you see with a lot of the young kids, because the young kids who can't be Gervonta Davis are going to be looking at a 9 to 5 thinking it's lame, looking at a 9 to 5 thinking it's whack. Like, it's crazy to me that this is the mentality and this is the mindset that's being pushed by someone like Gervonta Davis. And again, he sold over 1 million pay-per-view buys one time with Ryan Garcia, and we're still waiting to see what he does next. Now, I don't knock Tank, but there's certain things that you spend money on, and it's a sign that you're going to go broke later. Like, for example, you want to buy Ferraris. 5 years after you buy that Ferrari, it's the depreciation and the value of that Ferrari is 60% less than the price you paid for it. So you just took a 60% hit, even from the moment you drive it off the lot. Same with jewelry. The value of that depreciates from the moment you buy it and you walk out of the jewelry store. You're going to get pennies on the dollar when you try to sell it back. And if you know anything about gold, if it isn't 24 karat, then 18K, 14K, 10K, you got a lot of other types of metals mixed with that quote unquote gold chain or whatever it is you got. Half of these boxers buying jewelry don't know the difference between moissanite diamonds. They don't even, but between moissanite and actual diamonds. They get a diamond test to think it's real as moissanite. You saw Lil Baby bought a watch. He posted it, paid $400,000 for the watch, posted it, and some guy Watch Busters on social media told him, bro, that's a fake. Nah, trust me, that's a fake. Go back to the jewelry store. Lil Baby went back to the jewelry store, found out the watch was a fake. And then the jewelry store had to apologize, because that's how they look at you. They look at you like marks. You don't have the ability to tell whether or not the jewelry is real. You don't know that. You guys sitting here paying all this money for Ferraris. You don't know what type of engines in there. You don't know what they're selling you. You don't know whatever. You're just paying for status. You just want status. Like, I can tell you this. I know, and I've been around people who got generational wealth, drive a Camry. They don't want you to know they have money when they're out. When it's time to shine, you'll know. But they drive Camrys. They wear regular clothes. They'll wear a t-shirt that looks plain and basic. The t-shirt costs like $100. It doesn't have a logo on it. It doesn't have someone riding a horse. And I'm not sitting here trying to disrespect anyone, but I'm saying, like, the wealthy think different. The wealthy don't spend $200,000 on a car where the value is going to depreciate over 60% over 5 years. They'd rather put $200,000 into an account that gains 10% interest, and then over 5 years go back to that and have equity and have more money than they had before. So, they're not, the wealthy, they're not into taking losses. That's why a lot of people can't spot who really has money, because you looking around for someone with the fancy clothes, driving a fancy car, and doing all that. That's why, like, you hear some women say, well, where the good men at? You don't know how to find them because you're too worried with all the distractions, the flash and everything. As the old saying goes, everything that glitters isn't gold. And Gervonta Davis has one way of making money, and that's using his body. And if it ever comes to a point where he can't use his body anymore, I don't know how this man is going to make money. So how long can Gervonta Tank Davis fight is the next question. He's about to be 30. So is he going to fight for 10 more years? Let's give him till 40. How long is he going to live? And when the boxing checks aren't coming in, how is he going to maintain the lifestyle that he's living right now? When no money's coming in and all it's doing is going out, what's going to happen? Adrien Peterson's going to happen. Adrien Peterson is going to happen. That's what happens. You can't box your whole life. But if you work a 9 to 5 and you do it right, you'll make millions over the course of your life. You'll own millions in assets, especially if you go get an education and do other things. But the point is, don't let nobody make you feel bad about working a 9 to 5, especially if you provide for your family. Because I'm telling you, those same people who are getting it fast, live fast, die young. All right. Anyways, you can let me know what you think in the comment section. I appreciate you listening to this video. Please like, share, subscribe. It's Caden. I'm out. Peace.